There's something in the winter air that changes us. As December unfolds, we feel it. The subtle shift in the atmosphere that goes beyond twinkling lights and seasonal songs. It's as if the world collectively holds its breath, waiting for something profound to unfold. But what are we really waiting for? What stirs in our hearts as the year draws to a close and the promise of Christmas approaches? In a world that often measures worth in dollars and cents, we're going to explore a different kind of wealth, the riches that fill our hearts rather than our homes. These are the treasures that can't be bought, the warmth of shared laughter, the joy of traditions passed down through generations, and the quiet miracle of love that began in a humble stable so many years ago. Every year, we navigate through a sea of holiday advertisements, social obligations, and endless to-do lists. Yet underneath all of this, there's a whisper of something more meaningfully calling for us. It's in the quiet moments when we catch ourselves staring at the stars on a cold winter night, or in the unexpected wave of emotion when we hear a childhood Christmas carol. These moments aren't just nostalgia, they're invitations to look deeper, to explore what our hearts truly hunger for during this sacred season. Some might call it divine connections, others might name it love, but at its core, it's about rediscovering our capacity for wonder and genuine human connection. Think about your most precious Christmas memories. Are they about the expensive gifts you received? Or do they center around those magical moments, helping Grandma roll out cookie dough in her warm kitchen? The whole family giggling as you try to build the most crooked snowman in the neighborhood, or simply sitting by the fire, sharing stories that never grow old. These simple moments aren't just activities. They're the threads that weave together the tapestry of our lives. They're how we show love, how we connect, how we create stories we'll tell for years to come. Perhaps the most challenging gift we can give ourselves is honesty, the courage to admit what we're really seeking, beyond the perfectly wrapped presents and precisely planned gatherings. What does your heart yearn for? Is it forgiveness for past not taken? Is it the courage to be vulnerable with those we love? Is it the strength to embrace joy even when life feels imperfect? Or maybe it's permission to believe in something greater than ourselves. The first Christmas gift wasn't wrapped in glittering paper or placed under a decorated tree. It came in the form of a child, born not in a palace or a mansion, but in a humble stable under a star-filled sky. This profound truth reminds us that love doesn't need grand settings or expensive wrapping. It simply needs open hearts and willing spirits. This divine love chose the simplest of beginnings to teach us its most powerful lesson. True love transforms everything it touches. It turns ordinary moments into sacred memories, simple gestures into lasting treasures, and everyday places into holy ground. Just as that stable became a sanctuary, our kitchens become sacred places when we bake with our kids. Our living rooms become holy ground when we gather to share stories. And our backyards become magical realms when we build snow angels with those we love. Remember when Christmas held pure magic? When every snowflake felt like a miracle? The very air seemed charged with possibilities. That capacity for wonder hasn't left us. It's just waiting to be reawakened. This season invites us to see through the eyes of our young selves while carrying the wisdom of our current journey. It's about finding the delicate balance between childlike faith and mature understanding, between sacred tradition and personal truth. Let's talk about what it means to create memories that become family treasures. It's not about perfection. It's about presence. It's about the cookie dough that ended up more on our faces than in the oven. The Christmas ornament that's lopsided because little hands made it with so much pride. The family recipe that never turns out just like Grandma's, but brings her close every time you try. And the annual tradition of driving around the neighborhood to see Christmas lights while everyone's singing off-key. These are the gifts that appreciate and value every year. They cost nothing, but mean everything. They're the stories your children will tell their kids. They're traditions that will outlive any toy or smart gadget you can buy. Sometimes we get so caught up in the search for more, then we forget to cherish what's already ours. This season invites us to pause and see our abundance, the gift of health that lets us dance in the snow, the blessing of family, whether by blood or choice, the treasure of memories that money can't buy, and the wealth of tradition that gives our lives meaning. When we shift our focus from what we want to buy to what we already have to give, we discover that we are richer than we ever could have imagined. Before we can truly give to others, we need to acknowledge our own heart's needs. The courage to sit with ourselves in silence, away from the holiday chaos. The wisdom to recognize what traditions that feed our souls and the ones that we need to leave behind. The strength to create boundaries that protect our inner peace, and the grace to embrace imperfect moments as part of our perfect journey. In this fast-paced world, time has become our most precious commodity. This Christmas, let's be intentional about how we spend it. Instead of rushing through stores, what if we spent that afternoon teaching our kids how to make paper snowflakes? Gather the family to bake and decorate cookies. Make enough to give to your neighbors. Take evening walks to admire Christmas lights, sharing stories as we stroll, and make homemade gifts that carry pieces of our hearts. When we nurture our inner light, something remarkable happens. Our connections with our loved ones become deeper. They become more real. We find ourselves moving away from obligation to genuine joy in our relationships. Small moments take on profound meanings, and a shared laugh, a quiet understanding, an unexpected act of kindness just blooms. Love, that first Christmas gift, continues to transform our world. It turns ordinary moments into memories, gestures into lasting treasures. It conquers fear, bridges differences, and heals old wounds. Like that star over Bethlehem, it guides us home to what matters most. When we choose love in its many forms, we choose to continue the story that began in that humble stable so long ago. We choose to be part of something greater than ourselves. As this Christmas season unfolds, may we remember that the greatest gifts often come wrapped in simple packaging. A child's laugh, a friend's embrace, a moment of pure joy shared with those we love. May we create memories that will warm hearts for generations to come. And may we recognize the incredible wealth we already possess in the love we share and the connections we cherish. Remember, the light we're seeking, whether we call it faith, love, or purpose, often begins as a small flame within our own hearts. When we tend it carefully, it grows strong enough to light the way for others. This Christmas, let's give our permission to seek that deeper magic, to nurture our inner light, and to share it generously with a world that needs it now more than ever before. Merry Christmas.